Okay, quick question. Do you want your kid, and if you've not got a kid, can you please visualise like a nephew or a kid off your street or anything like that? But do you want your kid growing up in a world full of shite corporate music? Do you want your kid growing up in a community that has been fracked to death drinking toxic water? Do you want your kid growing up lucky to get a job with 0 hours contracts? Do you want your kid in a situation growing up where it's almost impossible to get a mortgage? Having to work all your life to save up for the deposit, which is nigh impossible. Do you want your kid to have holidays? Do you want your kid to be ruled over by a Tory elite who are practicing a sick ideology on blaming and being punitive against those who are most vulnerable for the mistakes of those that they worship, the banking dynasty families, etc., etc., etc. I mean, I was having to think about what is the crap with this Tory ideology. Why they're like that? Why they're so snide? You know, don't give me this stuff about, well, actually, they're taking full fiscal responsibility. You know, all you've got to do is a little bit of research to understand that's absolute bollocks. George Osborne was questioned on the Andrew Marr show. He was asked 18 times about his economic plan for austerity, for this windfall of 18 billion for the NHS. At any point, he could not and would not answer the question. The money is there for the NHS via the national insurance, and also there's 120 billion in unclaimed tax from the huge corporations who they see as job creators, therefore don't have to pay tax. Absolute bullshit. One rule for all of us: they need to be taxed. So, if that's the case, why? What is it about them? What makes them the way they are? You know, I've got a few little ideas. If you are abandoned by your parents and sent to a boarding school, that sends quite a strong message out to a child. You're not loved, basically. It sends a message out to your child that your work is more important than their welfare. Every child wants to be loved. Every child wants to be part of a family, see their mum and dad every day if possible. So, but the ideology of these rich, middle, upper class families basically is work, work, work. Kids in nursery all day. If not, kids in a boarding school. And some of these boarding schools at the top level, there must be absolutely awful environments. I mean, I had the pleasure of knowing somebody who'd been to a boarding school. He was a very, very funny chap, but had a number of issues. He'd admitted himself that he was a bit of a bastard. And I'd blame that on his boarding school education. Maybe also the fact that, you know, there's a few parenting things there, which we've all had, you know. But that kind of childhood trauma, being in a sort of cutthroat environment, maybe even some sexual abuse, who knows, with these Tories and what have you. But ultimately, they self-loathe, they hate themselves. I think anything that's good, which has dignity, integrity, beauty, they want to piss on. And it's about their own self-loathing, really. So that is the politics for the way forward for the whole world, well, for this country anyway, is based on those basic values, really. They're the reasons why we are here now and we are enjoying what we've got now, because we've worked together. We are interdependent. This sort of like social Darwinist bullshit competition, it's absolute shite. You've got to see through it, you know. That's it's done with now. And as I said before about Jeremy Corbyn, there's been an article in the Independent today, I think, well, it was the Guardian actually, about how he's a relic. His politics is from a bygone era. Yet we have the Tories who are practising Dickensian politics. They want to send you back to the workhouse. They want to cut all benefits. So don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. You know, basic values will last forever. And those basic values of community, compassion, togetherness, honesty, work, they're the things that will always take us forward. And the only person at the moment in mainstream politics for me that's championing those values is Jeremy Corbyn. So you've just got to basically, ask yourself some serious questions, or even ask those questions to people that you know about what kind of world they want for their children, what kind of world they want for their parents who may be retiring, what kind of world they want for their nephews, and those that are most vulnerable. And that can only be a world of compassion, a world that moves away from war. And don't try to give me this one that we've got these terrorists and we're at risk and all that. We've created, well, I've not created them, but those bastards have created the terrorists. It's provable. ISIS has been created because we wouldn't want to go to war with Syria. The same way Al Qaeda. They have terror cells that they recruit. They create enemies and bogeymen to keep us in our place. You know what I mean? So it's wake you up time. But I'll leave that with you. Goodbye.